cleaned
Yes.
and
Yes,
looked after?
and that's at a few schools. I know when we look at moving children and amalgamating schools, so if we look at if Southview does close, the children would split between Crestwood and Ross Glen School. And in Ross Glen School, there's empty classrooms. Like there's room to have children flow into our classes and make them more full and bring the supports into a really full, valued school again. And it's not that our schools that are underutilized aren't valued. They absolutely are. Like you said, there's so many benefits to a small school for some children, but we have to think 7,000 students. And I think that's what makes it so difficult is if I could think just the 174 or the 137, I would love that. But we have to think 7,000 students, and we have to think 10 years down the road, 3 years down the road. If we're losing numbers now because our younger grades are coming in smaller, so if we had 300 kindergarten children and now we have 150, our grades are getting smaller and smaller as we move up.
I'm going to play the devil's advocate again.
Absolutely.
If I have a child at Southview and they're going to be moved to Crestwood, I might say, well, why don't Crestwood students come to Southview?
Yes, and we did have a few of those questions, not for that particular area, but for one, we don't have enough room at Southview. It is one of our smallest schools.
Okay.
And so that wasn't even an option just because the school itself, it definitely for full would be under 300. And whereas Crestwood fills a lot more than that.
Crestwood, though, if I recall, was built about 1970, so it's getting a little long in the tooth, too. It's probably going to need some I guess, remodeling or renovation or even just plain old maintenance.
Yeah, and that's sort of another misconception, too, that's out there, which I'd like to clarify, because the goal of the value scoping is definitely to hope for a new school one day. The last school we had was the Dr. Ken Sauer School in 2017. The goal would be to amalgamate our schools so that we can have that money combined into our schools and show the government that we are utilizing every classroom that we have in the division. And then instead of looking at our older schools and saying we'd like them remodeled, the government doesn't love doing that right now because they've learned when you go through the walls of 1960s, 1970s, you're experiencing a lot more debt after and a lot more
Pandora's
expense.
box.
That's right. And so they like to build a new school. But I really love the new school concept because it really is, it's really reaching to our way of 21st century learning. We have spaces in new schools that we didn't have. We have gyms that are properly sized. We have the hubs, which is a gathering place for kids to read or visit or learn. And I think that those are really important spaces in our world today for all the types of learning and critical thinking that we want our students to do. And when you walk into an older school, you don't necessarily have those spaces.
Have you benefited from the experience of your counterparts in the Medicine Catholic Board where they took 3 schools, closed them, and now they're building or are building a new school up by St. Francis Xavier?
So I don't know if I would say benefit. I remember them going through it. I remember there was a lot of media about that. I would say they had to make some hard decisions, and they did that. And they have a beautiful school going up, a K-9 school actually in Crescent Heights, which leads me to be completely transparent with you. It is on my mind because in that same area we have Webster, which we're going from 174 children down every year. And then you have Vincent Massey under 4 kilometers away. You have Dr. Ken Sauer School under 4 kilometers away. And then you're going to have a brand new K-9 Catholic school right in that same area under 4 kilometers. So this is definitely something that is on my mind for if the area in the north is not growing, where are all these children going to go to school? And how much money is it costing us to keep all these buildings running at low capacity?